more voters deciding they rather be called anything but Democrat. The Democrat name, the Democrat label is super duper unpopular right now, and this is their own fault. This is what happens when you cape for a small percentage of the populace. This is what happens. You know, you putting men and women sports, and you leaving the borders wide open. I mean, totally unpopular things the Democrat Party have been doing as of late. And now they're basically considered, the Democrat Party is now considered the gay party or the mentally ill party. Those are the only people that are supporting them. And of course, black women been supporting Democrats for years now. So since LBJ, when he came out and said that he's gonna make Negroes, but he didn't use the word Negroes. He's gonna have Negroes voting for Democrats for 200 years. So that's the 200-year curse that he put on black folk in the Democrat Party. But that's a whole nother subject. But we're gonna be talking about how unpopular the Democrat Party has become. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. I mean, the Democrat Party is super duper unpopular. And look at all the people who they push to the forefront. Like, look at the men in the Democrat Party. They're all sassy, effeminate, gay men. If you're a heterosexual and you will call yourself a heterosexual and you support the Democrat Party, I definitely question that. But the Liberty Daily reports a growing share of Americans are ditching the Democrat Party as it suffers one of its sharpest decline in voter affiliation in decades, a new NBC News analysis shows. Between 2024 and 2025 alone, Democrats experienced one of their most severe year-over-year losses, dropping 1.3 percentage points in registered voter share, according to a recent NBC News analysis of data compiled by Ballotpedia across 33 states and Washington, D.C. Now, I've been reporting on these polls recently, and I've been getting a lot of liberals and leftists coming out saying, oh, this is false, these are lies, and these are you guys' own polls that I'm showing. This is an NBC poll. You don't get more leftist than that than NBC. So this is the leftist own polls showing this. So I think it's even worse than what their polls are showing. But the trend reflects mounting disillusionment among Democrats and the turmoil within the Democratic National Committee. You know, they're broke. DNC is broke following the party's devastating loss to President Donald Trump in 2024. Democrats' registration numbers have dropped nearly every year since 2000, except during former President Barack Obama's 2008 campaign, the analysis found. In 2000, Democrats represented 43.8% of registered voters, but today the number has fallen to 37%. Wow. Republicans have also seen a decline, although less severe, dropping from 32.8% to 30.9% since 2000, according to the analysis. In contrast, the independent and third-party affiliations increased from 23.4% to 32%. Quote, the parties need to do something more than just win the next election. They need to build a structure for the future, Christopher Cooper, a professor of political science at Western Carolina University in North Carolina, told NBC News. They're not telling people why membership has its privileges. I think they need to be aware of this, or else they're going to have a real problem in the future. The shift in party affiliation was also reflected in exit polls from the 2024 presidential election, which indicated that for the first time, self-identified independents outnumbered Democrats and matched Republicans. Wow. Recent studies spell more trouble for Democrats, revealing fractures in key voting blocks and growing frustration within the party. They're losing, I've reported on this countless times, they lost black men, they lost Hispanics in general, losing Hispanics in general, and they're just hemorrhaging voters right now. Again, because look what the party stands for. Look at the party platform. They're against what most average Americans are for. An analysis of 2024 election data by Blue Rose Research, a Democrat-aligned data firm, of course, that's why they call Blue Rose, right, found that younger voters and the politically unengaged are shifting towards Republicans because the Republican Party now is the counter. What is it called? It's the counter party now. It's the anti elitist. It's the anti it's the party for the people now. It has shifted greatly. The Republican Party has shifted greatly. They're talking about things that average Americans are concerned about. I'm talking about the Republican Party. The Democrat Party has lost that. They lost their way because they are catering to the crazies of the party and the elitists of the party. The study also found that a majority of men across all racial groups supported Trump over former Vice President Kamala Harris. Moreover, only about 1/3 of Democrats indicate they were, quote, very optimistic or somewhat optimistic about the future of the party, according to a poll conducted in May by the Associated Press. Another survey recently found that 62% of Democrats believe the party leadership should be replaced with new faces. They tried that and they kicked them out. They tried, David Hogg came in and was like, even though, I'm not really for David Hogg, but he was basically echoing the same thing. Said the Democrat Party needs some new faces. We need to we need some young progressives in, is what he was saying. He was dedicating $25 million to, which is crazy, I think. And the people that actually run the party was like, nah, David Hogg got to go. This is why they're losing it. They're losing young people. The DNC is facing intense infighting and a sharp decline in donations, with some party officials reportedly considering borrowing money to stay afloat. They got to take out a loan. That's because they spent all their money trying to prop up a terrible candidate, Kamala Harris. That's what happened. And now they don't have any money in their coffers. Leadership disputes highlighted by the recent ousting, which I just alluded to, of former DNC Vice Chair David Hogg, have further destabilized the party's unity. And I don't see them coming back. I don't see the Democrat Party coming back because they are continuing. How many times? I say time and time again. They're continuing to push this stuff that nobody wants. They're continuing to double down on this stuff that the average American is against. And they lost the plot. And I think it's over for the Democrat Party. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.